Good evening and welcome on a Tuesday night to Loud and Nerdy. You boys are freezing. I'm sunburned and in pain. Uh, I feel every one of my 51 years like a fucking ton of bricks today. Welcome to the show. My name is JW Colwell. Good evening, Joe. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on a Loud and Nerdy Tuesday night. I'm joined as always by my cohorts in this nerd extravaganza, Kyle Defina of Sweet Translucent Dreams and the Post Office. Good evening, Ken. And Jerry Kamora, North Pocono alumni and Slapjaw band member. I am also a North Pocono alumni, in case people wonder why we put the goddamn videos on the North Pocono alumni page. But who the hell are we?
I that for it.
I love it. I fucking love it. I love getting yelled at about shit. So before we get to, I went to Epic Universe yesterday. It was a long day. It was 10. It was like 10. I got up at 6 a.m. to be there at a reasonable time when the gates opened at 10. So I was up at 6. We have a very full house. 2 nephews, my cousin, my aunt, my wife, our other cousin, her husband, like everybody went.
It was like a Home Alone trip.
It was like a crazy trip. It was a lot of people.
Who paid the pizza boy the night before?
Yeah.
Kevin did.
You messed it all up, you little jerk.
But so we it was a very long day, but we'll get to that in a moment. The first thing I want to talk about, and I think we need to talk about something that happened last week. Well, 2 things that happened last week. And it like when we are not on, when big events happen or big like losses or when we lose somebody major, I always feel like, should I go on and do a show, or should I go on and do that, or should you wait for the next episode and we can give people their proper due? And we have to give someone their proper due. Val Kilmer passed away. Now, the interesting thing about Val Kilmer, and it's something I discussed with Rich the other night as we were plotting some things out, because we usually plot a lot of what's going on in Generation Movie with current events or movies that are coming out or anniversaries, because we're trying to make sure we're plugged into things that are important that are happening now. So we're gonna change up our schedule for Mission Impossible and not do the first Mission Impossible this week. We will be doing this movie this week, celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Great movie.
It is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's called Real Genius. It's got Val Kilmer in it. He plays Chris Knight. It is absolutely my favorite Val Kilmer movie. But the interesting thing, I was talking about Rich Dries, who I do Generation Movies with, is the interesting thing is that if you talk to people, everybody might have a different favorite Val Kilmer movie.
True.
He is the type of actor that transcended roles, but also when he fell into the roles and he hit certain movies, some movies are so good that they immediately become favorites. Like the other favorite role of his, Chris Knight, is up there, right? This guy right here, like, he is arrogance incarnate. He is funny as hell. It is a great comedy. It is fantastic. William Atherton is the bad guy from Ghostbusters and Die Hard. It's a great movie, right? It's just about a genius that takes another genius under his wing at this tech university, and they get in all kinds of trouble, and it's funny and just about growing up. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But if you said to me, JW, I grew up on Willow, and my favorite Val Kilmer movie was Willow, where he played Mad Mardigan.
Willow's good too.
Willow's great. And he played Mad Mardigan. You wouldn't get a lot of people fighting about that. Or if you said, JW, I was a huge Doors fan,
Right.
and he was incarnate. And the best thing about the Doors movie was Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison.
Well,
Or
he said that he wanted to sing the parts too,
yeah,
and he
you
did,
know,
right?
and he did. Or maybe you were an '80s kid like me and Jerry and Kyle to a certain extent, and you grew up with the Iceman, and you like that he was the opposite, the polar opposite, literally the polar opposite of Tom Cruise in Top Gun, where he more than held his own, right? Or or you're a '90s crime fan. Oh, that's I like stupid stuff. Top Secret, best. Wait, we're getting there. We're getting there. Like if you said Top Secret, I'd have no problems with that, Ken. Like that's the other thing. Or if you said Doc Holliday, I'd have no problems with that, Ken,
Nope.
because Doc Holliday is one of the best Western performances in the history of cinema.
Even Heat.
Well, or if you said he, Jerry, I
Right.
I would agree with all of them. There are very few bad Val Kilmer movies, and then if you when you think about it, he's one of the greatest actors that never made it so big that he was bigger than who he was, right? And it's just one of those things where you look up and you go, you know, um, and even as he progressed through his career, he played games, he had all kinds of good things. And one of the greatest stories I just heard this past week was he was in the MacGruber movie. He played the villain in the MacGruber movie, right? And he became lifelong friends with Will Forte, who played MacGruber, right? And one of the things that came up was that at some point when his marriage broke up, he lived with Will Forte for 3 or 4 months, just as a weird kind of thing. And as they did that, Will Forte introduced them to reality shows. And they talked about auditioning for The Amazing Race together. But when they went to their agents, both of their agents said, no, you can't do that. Which is the saddest thing ever, because they would have been great on The Amazing Race. I don't know if they would have won, but it would have been great.
I saw a video about him where and I don't know how true it is, but they were talking about him in Heat and that whole gun sequence.
Yes.
How the way that he handled his weapon, they were using that at the time to train military. Like, this is how you reload a weapon, hold a weapon, your stance.
Yeah, the person that does that now is Keanu Reeves. Right? You can watch the Reeves tactical weapons training.
Yeah, he went for training for all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
But Val Kilmer was an excellent actor. I'm going to recommend another movie that maybe not a lot of people have seen, but you need to see it. It's a film noir. It is an amazing movie. It is one of the coolest movies you will ever see. It's from 2005. It is film noir. It is very funny. It is a movie called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He plays a gay private eye in it, and he's phenomenal. It's him and Robert Downey Jr., and it's very very dark noir with comedy, and they're great. Robert Downey Jr. plays an actor who's in trouble, and it
sounds about right.
All right.
No typecasting there.
And then if you said to me, but JW, I wasn't a big fan of all those '80s movies, but I did, Val Kilmer might have been my Batman. You know what I mean? Like, he had so many things, and it's never one movie with Val Kilmer. It could be several movies, but the ones that I gravitated towards, the ones I rewatched this week, I played Bluntman. We was a Kevin Smith card. We did. Yes, he played Bluntman and Chronic, in the Jay and Silent Bob movie. But yeah, that's it. He was in so many things. He did so many great roles, so many great movies. The three I gravitate. Island of Dr. Moreau.
That was good too. I like that.
it's a weird version of it. I don't know.
It is. I like it just the same.
I can't get past Brando in that movie. Brando just dominates the proceedings to the point where it's just like, Kilmer's fine in it, but it's one of those losses that we won't think about. Like it's not like a superstar, but it's a person that we got to know and love, and people had their favorite movies of his. And I thought that was really an amazing concept that one actor could have all these different movies that people are fans of. And Real Genius, Tombstone.
I love that. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Real Genius.
Kent,
Well,
Kent,
you will get Kent.
Stop playing with yourself. It is God.
Okay, Jesus. Kent, you can't park your car on campus. Did you do this night? I had help. And he puts a car in his fucking campus dorm room. Anyway, so we're doing Real Genius on Generation Movie next week as a celebration of Val Kilmer. We'll talk more about his career and stuff as well. And this is how I remember him, as just an amazing actor and just somebody I really love. And again, if you said Tombstone, that particular role, Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, he transcends that movie. Like, that movie is balls to the wall, action packed, George Cosmatos, very good director, very good action, cool gunfight at the OK Corral. Everything's good in that movie. But Val Kilmer makes that movie. He makes that movie bigger than what it could have been. And so, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I wish you, as Tom Cruise said at CinemaCon, he is charisma. He's charisma seep. Good luck on the next journey, wherever you're headed. Godspeed. Okay. Let's talk about a fun thing that happened.
Other fun thing? That's a horrible transition.
It is.
Yeah, because Val Kilmer dying was not a wonderful thing that happened. So
that is true. I didn't.
Let's change the tone and talk about something wonderful that happened.
Look, can you give me?
Try that transition.
Can you give me a break? Because I was tearing up. Can you just give me a fucking break? Just give me a break, man. Just I was tearing up.
We get over it.
I don't hate you. I was tearing up is why I did it that way. I was struggling for things to say. So yeah, I did something on Thursday night. I usually go to the like newer movies on Thursday nights.
But you went to go see Superman, didn't you?
I did go to see Superman. That is correct.
Yes.
There's a theater.
If it was showing within a 50-mile radius of you, you have to go.
Well, I have to go because it's that time of year.
51 miles might be your kryptonite, but within a 50-mile radius, you'll go.
I would probably go 51, but it was literally on the way home after seeing another movie that opened this week. So I went to this place called the Ritz in Sanford, Florida, where it is very close to me.
Putting on the Ritz.
And they do older movies. It's a theater, but they've retrofitted with new sound system and everything. And it is an old timey movie theater. I'm going to show you a picture as soon as I bring it up. Because that was one of the things I forgot. And that's okay, because that's how we roll on the show. We move, we inspire, we try to make good transitions, but sometimes we don't. But look at how nice, like these old timey theater seats. Wasn't super packed. It was $5 to get in. They had a full working bar. They had a balcony. And it was just a really cool experience. And I gave them our card because I was saying I'd love to do some curation at this particular theater. What was that?
Here's my card. I was a theater manager, you know.
That's not what I said. I said I'd love to do
My dad ran a theater from 1942 to,
It was 70.
in Monticello, New York.
It was 73. You're making fun of my dad? What the fuck are you
No,
doing?
no, I'm just bringing what's basically your spiel every week.
Right,
Look at
remembering.
this ad.
Okay.
My program throws
You
plastic
know what?
bags full of quarters.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You talk for a little while. You go. Good. What'd you do this week?
I saw the Minecraft movie. I'm sure you were
Okay.
going to get into that.
Yeah, talk.
Yeah. Jerry just got done collaborating though with a drummer that had an awesome rock beat. How'd that go for you, Jerry?
Not bad so far.
Not bad. Heard he
Mhm.
commented already.
No, he didn't, because I didn't post it yet.
You didn't post it yet. Then how'd you get a comment already?
Well, that was on a different video. So
Oh.
so they were playing Superman 1, right?
One.
The first one.
Did we find his kryptonite? If he goes crazy, well, then you still call me Superman.
That's a tune, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's one of them songs.
one of them 90s tunes.
Yes, Mahoney Valley does open this weekend with their usual Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Wizard of Oz. Good times. JW's counting to 50. I think he's well past 50. Awkward? A little bit. We might be able to get him to talk soon. He's holding the lips shut now. He had to use 2 fingers now just to hold him. He wants to talk. He's smiling. He's coming. He's ready. He's gonna speak. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to eat chickens this week. Why do you have to bring that up, woman? I don't know why. She eats like 3 eggs a year and she wants to get chickens. I don't get it. Jerry, they're coming to your house soon.
That's fine.
Yeah. So the Minecraft movie. I saw it. I think it's very much for anyone that loves the Minecraft video game system. Lots of inside stuff. A lot of inside jokes and everything else, but it was okay. Stayed for the end. There is an after scenes. Did very well at the box office this week. I'm sure JW, did you get a chance to go see it?
Well, I saw clips from people in the theater, like kids basically, and they're all screaming and everything. And I'm like,
some of those clips I saw look like Rocky Horror.
I'm not a Minecraft person, right? I mean, I never really watched it. I know it's a game and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know if I could sit there and watch all these kids screaming when I'm trying to watch this movie. But I get it. You know, they're looking for like their favorite character or whatever to be mentioned or whatever it is. So it's kind of like the Marvel movies. They did the same thing with those. I've seen videos of that too. So,
And then I guess in the chat here we got Pitt, new series that's on Max that's been going on 10 weeks. It's the like an ER type show, but because it's on Max, the things they show pretty graphic. But everyone I know that's been watching it really seems to be enjoying it. Any comments on that, JW? No, nothing to add. Oh, I thought you would have liked Pitt. Or are you boycotting it because of Zaslav? No, that's not it. No. Oh. So, but yeah, Missy thinks that Pitt is amazing. Really goes there. Absolutely loved Minecraft. Got it because I played Minecraft and my son does, but geared towards a certain audience. I did feel Minecraft was geared towards a certain audience and not for the general audience. How about you, JW? How did you feel about it? Really?
Well,
So you think it really went there? Okay,
I
so
don't know. I was never a huge Jack Black fan.
2 words.
But
Yeah, Jack Black is. I don't know. You a big Jack Black fan, JW? Yeah, not too over the top for you. But you've always liked that Chris Farley type of acting, haven't you? I can't wait to see what the AI labels this whole section right here on the clips. What do you think it'll be, JW? Man, his mute button and can't find how to turn it back on. JW, if you think Howard the Duck should have got an Oscar, say nothing. Oh, it's Oscar worthy. There we go. Yeah, raise the roof. So, how was your trip to Epic? I think we almost found them unmute.
it was epic.
It was epic.
Where is that anyway? That's not Universal, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
Universal, Jerry. It's
I've
Universal.
never been to Universal, so I
You've
don't
never
know.
been, you've never been to Universal?
No, just
Okay.
Disney.
So Universal has 2 areas right now. They have Islands of Adventure and they have Hollywood Studios. Epic actually is their new park. It's designed as what was the comment?
Awkward and nerdy. That's what the AI is going to name that section. Awkward and nerdy.
It wasn't awkward. You're a host of the show. You were talking. There was no awkwardness. I mean, theoretically, the AI is not going to even know anything that it was awkward. The only people, if you mention awkward over and over again, though, that will get picked up by the AI. So it's designed as a Disney killer. Basically, what Universal is doing is they've come up with something called Epic Universe. It is essentially a separate park. At this moment, it will be a park that requires stay at Universal resorts to be able to go to. So what Disney's always had is they've had 4 parks. They've had 4 parks, and they've had the ability to make people stay for 7 days. And Universal has usually been a 3 or 4 day park.
So is that park like right there too?
No.
Like how far?
No, it is. It's a decent chunk away, and I would imagine that the transportation is going to be set up. Now we were there. There was anywhere from 9,000 to 12,000 people, but the park is big enough to house 88,000 to 100,000 on any given day.
So I wonder if it's located where it's at because they couldn't get property closer.
No, it's because they have property and they're working on property. They bought a bunch of property around Orlando, and they're expanding back towards City Walk. So City Walk is a major place at Universal, and basically they're expanding back. But wait, the design of the place is basically the setup is that there's a central port, and that all of the different portals have been opened up in this celestial bay that have opened to different universes. So this is the first picture I took when I got there. That's a goddess, basically a goddess statue they have next to the one of hotels. And then if you look around, this is there's the Isle of Berk is one of the portals. So How to Train Your Dragon, it's basically How to Train Your Dragon. If you don't like rides, is Universal worth it? I don't. No.
Yes.
Well, it depends. The theming of this park is especially astounding, actually. So every portal has its own park. So the one that Jerry is going to want to go to is there is a Universal portal for the Universal movie monsters. So it's called Dark Moor.
I would have ridden the Jaws ride.
Well, yeah, the Jaws ride is long gone, my friend.
I know.
But
Back to
Dark
the Future
Moor,
ride.
Darkmoor for Jerry. Well, okay, so this is the How to Train Your Dragon. There's How to Train Your Dragon. There's a Celestial Centerpiece. There's Nintendo, Super Nintendo Land, Super Nintendo World. There is Universal Monsters, which is called Darkmoor, and then there is a Harry Potter area that is wildly weird in its branding. So I'm going to talk about some of the parks as we go here. Like the park that I was most excited about was Darkmoor, and you can literally walk around and meet movie monsters. This it's very clear. If you zoom in on this picture at some point, you will see that all of these things are super cool. The far right jar contains a monkey paw, and it says "cursed," and you can see the monkey paw. It's the fingers, the wishes. Middle jar is a papyrus scroll, and then there's all kinds of other things. And around this particular cart was Igor. So there was a guy playing Igor who was just kind of collecting bodies and stuff. It's a very dark area, not necessarily for kids, but it has two of the premier rides in the park. It also is wildly like Dr. Jekyll's Apothecary. The branding is insane. And also it has movie villains walking around. So this is an actor portraying Claude Rains as the Invisible Man, for all the Rocky Horror fans out there. And he is fantastic. He reacts to cues from the movie. He reacts to being called by his character name. They're very well versed. There was another guy in the center of town who was a violinist that was telling all the stories of Universal Horror Monster movies. There's a werewolf roller coaster. There is a Frankenstein's Castle that has the most state-of-the-art ride going with the most state-of-the-art animatronics called Monsters Unleashed, which with all of the Universal movie monsters. So the werewolf, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Mummy.
Frankenstein, Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein, and Dracula. So it's an incredible world. The other world, like it's astounding. This, if your kids are fans of Super Mario or Nintendo, the Nintendo world is ridiculous. This is from Bowser's Castle, which is the venue for a Mario Kart ride where you actually participate in a full Mario Kart race.
Virtually, what, do you get a go-kart or something?
Yes.
Nice.
And you put on virtual goggles and you are helping Team Mario beat Team Bowser. It was incredible. And then also in the Nintendo park, I didn't take too many pictures. There's a lot of videos I put up. But this, actually, I was wearing it like this for W. But this is a Super Nintendo World power band. Prized possessions, because the land is interactive. So there are blocks that you can hit and get coins. At which point, you can do all kinds of Nintendo-ish stuff. The second part of Nintendo Land that wasn't open was Donkey Kong World. Donkey Kong Country wasn't open. And it was a technical rehearsal. So there were some things that weren't open. The next world is the Harry Potter world. I'm going to talk about that briefly because nothing was open there. And it's weirdly crafted. So it is. And I got bad news for Missy. I got bad news for Missy on a couple of things. But the world is crafted that it's set in 1920s Paris. Joe Ridgely, how you doing?
I am well.
Just
How are you guys doing?
You're just showing up.
Yes.
We're talking about Epic Universe.
Sure.
So it's set in 1920s Paris. But at the end of and there's a show called The Arcanus, which is basically a magic show that's supposed to be very interactive and amazing special effects show. And then, but the only ride there, aside from all the shops, there's a bunch of shops in 1920s Paris, candy shops, restaurants, wand shops. There's a wand shop with a specific wand creator that is not Ollivander. That is the opposite of Ollivander. Her name is Cosme, and her background story is basically she goes against Ollivander, and she believes that the wizard picks the wand, not the wand picks the wizard. So the whole thing there. But it's 1920s Paris, and at the end of the street is Battle of the Ministry. Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry, which is set in the 90s. So the park is a little bit weird and wonky in that regard. And you know, it's some interesting stuff that, you know, that I heard mumbles about, rumors about, is that, and Missy will be upset about this, is that her beloved Fantastic Beasts takes precedent over Wicked. So Warner Brothers has a clause in their contract that says they get first dibs on land development, and that Universal is going very far. I assume it became a kiss because you're talking to me, Raven. And what Missy might not like, the idea would be that there would be another portal for the Land of Oz in this epic universe at some point, because that is a license to print money. But Warner Brothers might not allow it because they don't want Fantastic Beasts next to Wicked. So take that for what you will. The Nintendo Land was nothing short of magnificent. It was absolutely incredible. There's a Yoshi ride, the Donkey Kong Country ride. You can meet all the Nintendo characters: Toad, Princess Peach, all of them. Mario.
Wait a minute. So I can ride Peach?
Oh boy.
Wow. She's a little foamy. They're big foam characters, Joe. I don't even know if she'll feel you. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty astounding park. I will say that if you're a bigger person, even tall and wide, if you're tall and wide,
I'm both of those.
I know, there are definite ride constraint issues, because almost all the rides are fast rides, and almost all the rides have things that come down and have to hit a certain point. So I had some problems on some of the rides, but the Nintendo World was so good that I got to do Mario Kart. I got to do all the Nintendo stuff. And like I said, it's a very interactive world. If you have one of these bands, and everybody, all the kids in our party, including me, had our bands, you can run around hitting the blocks and getting coins. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the camera how it works. You plug in. Actually, turn my phone off. I'm not going to do that. You plug in to Super Nintendo World, and you're playing with everybody that's in the park that day. Trying to collect coins,
Cool.
trying to collect.
What do you win?
I don't know what you win. I don't know. I know that I run around hitting blocks, Gary. I know that I was a child running around hitting blocks and trying to get the right. You remember playing Mario as a kid, and you're trying to get the right tempo to get the exact number of coins out of the blocks? That's what you're doing. Eventually, the block goes boom, and it's over, and you have to move on to the next block. But you're running around doing that.
Do they make the noise?
They make the noise. It's great.
They go
They're-
boop.
Are there secret blocks?
Yes,
Hidden blocks?
and
Question mark.
hidden blocks and question marks. Hidden blocks, but some of the blocks also smash. So you jump, you hit it, you put your hand up, and it your big crash.
Nice.
There's also mini games within the park. So like where there's a video of me and my nephews where you go in and you get either an ice flower or a fire flower, and you're flinging things against the wall electronically and just killing, firing fireballs or firing ice balls. Incredible. It was absolutely incredible. There's one section where you get hit with a poison mushroom, you become smaller, so everything in the room is bigger than you, and you have to solve the problem in the room. Yeah, it's an astounding piece of branding, IP branding. Absolutely incredible. We didn't get to go on any of the Potter stuff.
Do we have two Missies now?
Did we have two misses?
There's always been. There's a Missy B, and then
Oh, there is.
others.
There's a second Missy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Missy Bernosky. Yeah. But yeah, it's an absolute. The branding is actually stupendous. It is considered a Disney killer. Although I have friends that work at Disney
How's that make you feel?
that are not scared. I don't know that it is, because my perspective after yesterday is it's phenomenal. It's incredible. It's the branding's off the charts. How to Train Your Dragon Land was really good. All of the parks are branded with different foods. All of the parks have Coca-Cola, Universal machines, the machines where you can get any drink, and each one of the parks has its own specialty drink. So it's like, specialty foods, specialty, like the How to Train Your Dragon Park had the most incredible thing. They had a PB&J, right? And you're like, okay, peanut butter and jelly. No, it is a cone of garlic everything bread filled with mac and cheese and pulled pork, and just phenomenal. Like,
sounds healthy.
Yeah, it sounds really healthy.
Is there a dragon that flies in the air?
It was not the healthiest of days, Joe Ripley.
$25.
It was $25. I think it was only like 12. It was only like 15. Jerry, only for
what? A cheeseburger at Disney is 25.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There.
Well, we ate at Toadstool. There's a giant mushroom in the center of Super Nintendo World, and we ate.
Now you're talking my style.
Not that kind of mushroom. A toad mushroom. So one of the little guys, and he's a little chef, and he has a whole backstory that he's always wanted to cook for Princess Peach, and now he gets to cook for everybody in Super Nintendo World. So like it's super branded. My favorite.
Do they have a little person being this chef?
No, everything's on video monitor. So
missed opportunity.
Their entire things going all around you in this particular restaurant that are all Nintendo things, that are all like Bowser showing up, bullet bills being fired at the restaurant, giant chairs, like it's absolutely insane. But I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite part of the park, the dude that played the Invisible Man, I got to give him credit. He was so good. Jerry, when I tell you I was throwing names, stuff from the movie at him. By the way, if you want to watch The Invisible Man, 1933 Invisible Man, fantastic movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, we could do that. I mean, it was, but I want to talk about the park. It was a good experience. We were blessed to have a team member working at Universal in the family. He was very nice to bring us all along. I rediscovered this movie again. I'd seen it before, but I rewatched it again after lobbing questions at the guy playing the Invisible Man. This movie's great, Jared. This movie, one of the best like Universal movies. We segue from Nintendo to Universal Monsters because they're right next to each other. In Epic Universe, the portals are right next to each other.
Yeah, you got some nerve for asking, lady.
He wanted to show Bowser as Invisible Man.
Well, Bowser as the Invisible Man is a good way to go. But like I said, it's an experience. It could be a Disney killer, but I don't know that, Oh yeah, no, but I don't understand that. The show is pop culture, so this is as big a pop culture thing as we could get.
Raven.
Not being high does not compute with Joe. Does not compute.
You can be high. I don't know that it's.
I think things will come out at her, and
yeah,
it would not be good.
I don't think it would be good either. You
got to open up that monkey paw jar.
No, just so we're clear, I'm not high 24/7. I just smoke at night to calm down.
But Jerry,
yeah.
The specific.
Yeah, he takes us 8 hours of sleep off from smoking. It's the other.
What I would say is the specifics, Jerry, like of the Universal Monsters place. the idea that the ride for the werewolf, the Curse of the Werewolf ride, is a gypsy ride. So all the cars are gypsy inspired, like the car that he goes to
Right.
to get his fortune run.
Nice.
Yeah, it's absolutely really really amazing. And like I said, the branding is top notch. You can all the kids can get dressed up like movie monsters. All the kids can get dressed up like all the Nintendo characters. There was tons more merchandise for How to Train Your Dragon than I've ever seen.
That's
and what I would say, the interesting thing is, not only do we have a How to Train Your Dragon movie coming out this summer, which I think is going to do very well this summer, but the thing about the park that happened yesterday was my 7 and 8-year-old nephews had never seen How to Train Your Dragon. They've never seen the movies. They came out before they realized what they were. We watched both movies for the first 2 movies tonight. You know what I mean? So it's the type of park that can not only drive money to Universal through the park, but it can drive money to Universal through Peacock, drive money through Universal to movies that maybe haven't been experienced yet.
How much did it cost? Well, I'm sure that if the kids want to dress up, there's places where they do that there, right?
Well, there's an entire monster makeup thing.
Yeah.
You can get dressed. Like, there was a kid walking around, and some of that, they have a werewolf headgear, Jerry, that I almost got for you because it would fit perfectly on your head, your bald head, and it's just a wolf face. And I was like the stuff is, but yeah, you can get dressed up like the wolf. There was a teenager who had a wolf hat on, like a full wolf hat, and then he had fucking gloves that were from the shop, where his hands were hairy and they had the green wrists, just like Lon Chaney.
That stuff's a moneymaker. We went to Disney. My daughter had to go to the Bippity Boppity boutique, and I was bippity boppity broke after that because it was. And then 2 hours later, she wanted to go swimming. She wanted to go swimming 2 hours later, and there goes that 250 bones or whatever I paid for it.
Well, and that's the thing, but it.
Princess for 2 hours.
I would say that the things that I thought were interesting, the Harry Potter park was, again, very, very weird in its concept. But it was the coolest park. Nintendo World, they're gonna if they get half the capacity and with all the people walking around, it's gonna be, the heat was hot yesterday, and we were in the 80s yesterday. If we get to mid-July, August, it's gonna. Well, I thought other portals. I don't know what they're gonna do, Jerry. The one that everybody is talking about as a portal, because they've set up all kinds of stores and everything already, is Wicked. Wicked is, a movie that grosses $700 million. The sequel is gonna probably hit $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like, it's designed to be a theme park ride. The Defying Gravity, a Felba witch ride, or the Glenda in a Bubble ride, whatever the fuck they want to do. But like I said, there was some rumors going around about different things. It's not available as a pass holder thing right now. You can only buy tickets for one day as a pass holder, so you can't go every day at Epic Universe. So it's really quite a treat, to be honest. We have we're lined up to go in July again. So
way too hot.
Well, it'll be fine. And like I said, I watched the videos too, Missy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're banking, and I say this to you with all due love, Missy, I know you like the Fantastic Beast movies, but the answer to that is nobody else does. So if you're going to bank an entire section of your park on the Fantastic Beast movies, my thing to you is good luck with that.
It's not a moneymaker.
It's not it just won't be. And like I said, that park has got 2 things in it. There's a show that's right out of Fantastic Beasts. That's the Arcanus, show, and Arcanus animal show. And then there's the Ministry of Magic Harry Potter ride that has nothing to do with 1920s Paris. So it's weird. I don't know how to explain it other than I was walking through the area going, it's just off a little bit. God, it wasn't just Johnny Depp. Missy, the movies were bad. You know what I mean? Like the movies they're just not good. And the other thing you're going to be dealing with Harry Potter wise is, I know it's supposed to be a time wonky kind of place. I understand the branding. I just don't. Where did Joe go? Joe disappeared on us. Was he bored?
Did himself. You gave him control. He probably went to go take a few more hits of a Ridgely. So
or a dump.
No, he's right. I was getting bored.
Fair.
He doesn't say goodbye. He just leaves.
He just shows up.
Disappears on us.
Yeah, I mean, he's important. He doesn't have to do those things. He can just kind of show up and hang out.
Let's find out. Joe, what did you pop in for?
Yeah, Joe, what did you pop in for? Come on back.
Biffity boffity boo. There you go.
Boop. You're back.
Well, I had this whole thing in my head, and I was going to thank you guys again, this time in person instead of just a bubble going off. But no, we had to go on a rant about an hour for Orlando. So
that's what we do.
Okay.
Nobody's
and by the way, the pit is friggin' amazing. And last episode had Brad Dourif in it, and seeing him and his daughter act together again since Chucky, that was amazing. And for all those that don't know, it's not a spoiler, the chick with the ankle bracelet in the pit is Brad Dourif's daughter, and she was
Fiona.
Also in the show. Yes, Chucky.
Fiona Dourif.
She was totally cool when we met her. Like
where'd you meet her at?
She fell in love with my daughter out at Monster Mania in Cherry Hill.
Nice.
I'm sorry we went off on a rant. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about Epic Universe. It's a pop culture show. We talked about Val Kilmer too.
The finale is Thursday, which my wife is kind of pissed off about that. What'd you guys think of that? Did any of you guys see the new Kevin Bacon show?
I haven't watched The Bondsman yet. It's not. You do realize that you were saying you weren't too into it, and then I looked at the numbers today. It dumped Reacher on its head. Season 3 of Reacher.
I mean, my wife and I watched the whole thing, and they're only like half-hour episodes. It's not like it's a 45-minute or an hour show.
Oh, I plan on catching up. I've had a very busy week. But I plan. Hey, Jamie Hill, good to have you back. I've had a very busy weekend, so I plan on catching up. But you didn't.
It got better as it went along, but to me, it was just a little too slow. And instead of making 8 episodes and coming out with a second season with another 8 half-hour episodes, make 15-hour-long episodes.
Okay, Missy's got a Dickens novel, so read it.
Do you think they're gonna do season for The Pit? They've already renewed. Oh yeah, they already renewed.
It's already renewed. I don't have time to watch it. I'm watching The Floor.
At first, I hated it.
Survivor. I'm watching too many things right now.
ER got stupid towards the end. So it was just like, do I want to watch another ER show?
Do you know what didn't get stupid? St. Elsewhere never got stupid. That show was great.
Well, I mean, when you have one doctor that gets hit by a helicopter twice, come on.
I just think that's it's actually, I don't know, that the idea. Well, what are the chances? Anyway,
yes, Kevin Bacon has a show on Amazon Prime.
Brad and Fiona was another bibbity bobbity broke event for the Kamoras.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait a second. Now we're talking about your daughter getting these events that were broke events. Don't you take your son to fucking AFC Championship games every year?
That's her.
I understand.
I've been to Kansas City once.
Answer the question.
No, I'm not talking to you, Jerry. I'm just saying, doesn't your daughter deserve love too here? We break the bank to take somebody to Kansas City games. for the most overrated fucking team in football. Anyway,
Oh, to answer your question, the next season, Missy, it's going to be 4th of July weekend, which is supposed to be the busiest time in the ER. So that's what season 2 is going to be.
that's probably right. I
Oh, no,
haven't
it's
gotten
not probably right. Man,
They should
give me
make
some
a
credit. I
show
do my
about
research.
children. They need a show about children and youth services in Lackawanna County on St. Patty's Day parade weekend.
way cheaper. Oh yeah,
That's
that'd
what we
be
really need,
just drunkenness in general on St. Patty's Day weekend.
especially Carbondale.
Joe, what about you? Do you have a favorite Val Kilmer role? Do you have a since we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, for a particular reason. That's but the Doors. I think I was 16, 17 when that came out. What
Doors.
year did that come out? 93?
The Doors was hold on.
94?
Give or take.
Is that
Hold on.
new?
Yeah.
No, it was
It
90.
was earlier
no,
90s. Eh?
95. Anyway, I don't know. Hold on.
Was it that late? Anyway, I remember going into the movie on a first date and literally getting a contact high
91.
going into the movie theater. 91?
91 The Doors. Yeah, 91.
Okay, so I was
I thought it was
15,
earlier.
16 years old, and I remember going into the movies on a date and yeah, getting like a freaking contact high. I drove a motorcycle at the time. And let's just say the movie. Nah, I'm going to shut my mouth. Never mind.
Anyway,
the Doors is my final answer.
The Doors is your final answer. Well, we're talking about 91.
You
So
broke
the Doors,
on through to that other side, didn't you?
Oh, I did. That
Congratulations.
movie got somebody in the mood, and yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Come on, baby,
Like I said, 91 The Doors. The 90s, he had an incredible streak where he was just making, Batman Forever, Tombstone, The Doors, Heat are all within.
What's your opinion on Batman Forever?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't hate Batman Forever. I never have. I always I thought he was a good Batman. Like, he's not Michael Keaton, and nobody ever will be, and that's okay.
And he's definitely not George Clooney being an ass.
Right, he's not George Clooney acting stupid. Batman Forever gets a bum rap because it was, because of fucking nipples on the Batman suit and stuff. But there's a nice anti-chemistry to Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey acting like they want to kill each other when they legit wanted to kill each other as they were in Batman Forever. And I don't hate that movie as much as everybody else. Like, it's not as good as Batman or Batman Returns, but it's not a bad Batman movie. And it certainly did well enough at the box office to not be considered a failure. You know what I mean? Like Batman and Robin was. So I don't hate Batman Forever. Let's see what else. By the way, the numbers you were looking for, Kyle, $162 million for the Minecraft movie opening weekend. 323.
Can somebody explain to me what Minecraft is, please?
Okay, it's literally Minecraft. It's mine.
Get off my lawn, you kids!
That narrative right down.
Mine and craft. So basically, you go around. It's a virtual reality where kids could go around and mine stuff out of like ore and different things and build
like
stuff.
Dig Dug.
Yeah, it's as pixelated, if not more, than Dig Dug.
It's pixelated.
Everything is blocks.
Like
My
I
kids
said,
used to play it, Joe. They
it's
build
blocky.
buildings.
Yeah, it's very blocky.
They could, herd
Building.
sheep.
You can do all kinds of stuff. People
weird.
built the Enterprise in it. People
My
have built.
kids were too old at the time, and my
Well, and
grandkids are way too
it is-
young. So
I will say to you,
Hey, Sean,
that-
how you doing?
hey Sean, good to
Sean.
see you. Don't worry, you missed some awkwardness. It was fine. Everything's great.
Hey, everybody go check out Sean Smithson's Woodwork Creations. He does awesome work. He's done a ton of stuff for the Indie Escape,
Yeah.
Indie Brigade, all of us.
Also, Joe, while you're here, let's talk. The Indie Escape Network has a big week coming up. Let's talk about Gabe first. Gabe has a show coming up on the 9th, right? The 9th, I believe, with Grace Juliana and Andrew Jackson, AJ Jackson, coming up. So that's a pretty big and cool show coming up for him. He then has a show on the 16th. So Gabe's on fire right now. And he has Lauren Alenia, I believe is her name. She does a lot of cool like videos and all kinds of like voice acting and all kinds of cool stuff. And is an amazing cosplayer. And then he has a show coming up on the 23rd with another
This one
actor.
concerns me.
Why
This
does
one
it
concerns me.
Why does it concern you?
All of those are porn parodies with the exception of one.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you. Why are we promoting it on our show?
Hamilton, that's amazing.
And what does it say? Evil Dead something. I forget what it says.
This is Evil Head. Yeah.
No, Evil Head. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Reading hard.
Aramis Atorio. Look, I don't judge Gabe. I just move on.
Erotic Nights of the
Living Dead. Okay, the show's taking a weird AI turn.
Joker having bad thoughts.
I had to. Come on, it fit
I
right in.
can't wait to see what the AI labels this one.
It
That's
fit right
wild.
in with Hamilton. That was.
And let's get away from it for a second. Let's make a quality turn and say
Yeah,
the other
so
thing. The other
Hamilton
thing.
Quality
one?
turn towards Hamilton.
Forget about that stuff. Get away from it because we want to make sure Robert Bass gets a big
Yes.
thing. He has a big.
This is
Evil Head.
amazing.
Well, yeah,
So,
he's performing live. Where's he performing, Joe?
He's
Joker
headlining
Comedy
in
House
Tennessee.
So this
At
is a big
Joker's
deal.
Comedy House.
We're super excited for him. You can still get tickets. It's April 12th, 7 p.m.
That's JW's job.
No, it's not JW's job. I wasn't sent those images. Who sent me those images?
You still got to review them before you put them up.
No, I promote what we're told to promote. I'm trying to make sure everybody's happy on the network. Gabe's having people on. I don't judge who Gabe's. I don't judge who Gabe's having on.
Dressed up like the Joker.
So
I'm
what
the
did it? Wait,
Joker.
I'm curious.
Just
I got to see
so
the
we're clear,
picture again. What did the
just so we're
Joker's
clear,
head say?
It's the worst fucking Joker he could pick. It's his damage.
He's the choker.
It's the worst fucking Joker.
Is it the choker?
It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst Joker anybody could porn parody. The Joker
It's
nobody
because
wants to fuck. Anyway,
No, wait a
Starring
minute. Isn't he
in
going to be in
Rumble.
Tron now and all this other stuff? And
yeah, I don't.
Ruffle
As long
foreskin.
as Tron Ares, yeah. When
And
Gabe
isn't he in something
showed
that's
again,
coming out like right now? Or no? Was he in another Marvel movie or something coming up? I remember reading something else about.
no, Jared
Leto.
Leto, he's got Tron Ares, which looks mind-bogglingly weird. The trailer dropped for Tron Ares last week. Looks really cool. But again, you have Tron light cycles on a real street. I don't. The trailer's
There was something
mind-bending.
else he had coming out soon.
He's got something. He's always doing stuff, and I hope he doesn't destroy my beloved Tron franchise. Missy wants the images. Joe, you can send her the images. I don't want to get hit for distributing porn.
Again.
Stop it.
It violates his parole.
It does. Okay,
He'll be
well,
locked out of Disney forever.
yeah, forever. Also, okay, so let's try to get it back on the rails. It came from Jerry's basement. You got a movie from 1985, Jerry. What do you got?
I've
I
got
was 9
damaged.
years old.
I've got a picture of Jerry's basement up.
Well, yeah, well, we had a comment up that I had to get first. Give me 1 second, Jerry. I'll be right with you. Go ahead, show it.
Next week's guest, Tracy
Mike is
Lords.
Daryl.
Daryl.
Daryl. Okay, so yeah, this 85 had a lot of fun little like weird kid movies, and this is
I never saw this one.
he can fly
Oh, Daryl's great.
fly a jet, race a car, and outsmart a computer. The government created him, and now they want him destroyed. So
Oh.
Daryl is this wacky science fiction film. It's directed by Simon Windsor. It stars Mary Beth Hurt, Michael McKean, and Barrett Oliver from Neverending Story. And basically, Daryl is an acronym. If you notice in the poster, it's got periods in between. Data analyzing robot youth life form is what Daryl is, and he's an artificial intelligence. And basically, it's this movie about trying to keep. He gets adopted by a family, and then they have to try to save him from our evil
Well,
government.
he escapes the lab. He
And now
finds
he
his
makes
way to
clips
this
for the show.
family. They think
Yeah.
he's a real boy. They don't know anything about him, but then he's doing things like hitting home runs. He's intelligent. And then these, of course, the government's after him, and they finally figure out that he's actually a robot. So they all come together to try to save him from being recaptured.
I'm gonna, before I want to get off the dare for a moment. It's a real show. Gabe has a lot of friends in the industry. Let's just leave it at that. But Daryl is a great movie.
Which industry?
I'm not saying it. It didn't do well though in 85. So it's a 40-year-old movie.
Rated PG.
It's rated PG. It's it didn't get great reviews, but it is one of those movies that is an early precursor of things like Small Wonder. You know what I mean? It was before its time.
It falls in line with Cloak and Dagger and The Sandlot and movies like that.
Yeah, you did Cloak and Dagger a couple of weeks ago, right?
It's got an 80s feel to it.
The Never Ending Story. They all
Barrett Oliver, same kid. So it's a fun little movie. Let's see if we can get back on the rails.
Why? It's so fun.
Twilight Zone Redux.
I mean, the guy talks about Disney for an hour, then he wants to get back on the rails.
I like nice safe rails. Anyway, Twilight Zone Redux episode. It was a pretty good episode actually. And then we'll finish up with some news. I'm all over the place now. Episode title is A Penny for Your Thoughts. It is episode 16 of season 2. So we're well along.
Did you notice, John, that it wasn't a penny?
It's not. Well, the penny for your thought. First off, I have pictures.
Right. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Fantastic. I have it right here, Jerry.
Yep.
So it stars Dick York from Bewitched, and he plays this bank examiner guy, and he goes to get a paper, and he throws his quarter into the guy's tray, and it lands on its side. The moment it lands on its side, we hear an opening narration. Mr. Hector B. Poole, resident of the Twilight Zone, flip a coin and keep flipping it. What are the odds? Half the time it will come up heads, half the time tails. But in one freakish chance in a million, it lands on its edge. Mr. Hector B. Poole, a bright human coin on his way to the bank. So as he flips the coin, as it goes into the jar, as it happens, Rod Serling shows up, starts talking, and then Hector B. Poole, played by Dick York, can hear everybody's thoughts. So he gets hit by a car, and the guy's all like, "I'm so sorry that happened."
You okay?
You moron. He's like, "What'd you say?" And so the first half of the episode is him realizing he can hear other people's thoughts. So he just needs to walk near them, and he can hear the thoughts. This guy has an overdraft, and he's like, "This is probably the idiot that sent me the overdraft charge." And so he starts answering people, which freaks the people out because they're just thoughts. This is one of the largest casts though I've ever seen in an episode of Twilight Zone. There's so many people in this episode.
You know what's when the one coworker is thinking about the lady, like that gets kind of racy, right? A little bit.
Oh, there's a whole
time period.
There's a whole section. This is a 60s show. There's a section where where he has one coworker that's this really nice woman who all her thoughts are about him and about how nice he is and how he shouldn't be, kind of shoved around at work. And one coworker is a douchebag who comes up to her and says something to her and is thinking, "I bet you she's a firecracker in the sack."
Yeah.
And I bet she's like, and then he says, "It's always the quiet ones who end up like a tiger in the jungle." And at which point,
for that period of time, that's
super racy for a 60s show. At which point Hector gets a water from the water jug and kind of pours it over his head. He dumps it on him. because he kind of likes the girl and the girl likes him. And then the episode, takes all kinds of turns. Like it like he meets somebody that's getting a loan, and the guy starts thinking about what he's going to do with the $200,000 loan in 1960 television.
Yeah,
And he starts talking. He's going to bet on the pony, bet on the ponies, which is fantastic. And he's like, I can't give you this money if you're going to bet on the ponies. Like, what did you say? And they lose the account, and his boss gets mad, and his boss is having an affair with a showgirl, and his wife doesn't know about it. And he's planning on having the best weekend of his life, which is also kind of racy, Jerry, in a weird 60s way. The idea that all bosses apparently cheated on their wives. And eventually he comes to this old man, and it's the saddest old man at the bank. And he's just this guy that basically, his name is Mr. Smithers. And Mr. Smithers is basically, he's sitting at his desk and he's doing his job, and he's thinking about to himself, I'm going to go at 4:30 and I'm going to check the bank deposits, and I'm going to rob the bank, and I'm never coming back there again. And he's just this old man. And, and basically at this point, Hector Poole uses it to his advantage, and he tells the boss, and the boss sets up a trap and catches Mr. Smithers. And as Mr. Smithers empties out his bag, there's nothing in it. And it turns out that Hector has overheard the thought in his head, and it's a dream. It's his dream every day that he's going to rob the bank. And he never does it. He turns to Mr. Poole. He goes, some days it's Bermuda, some days it's Fiji. He goes, but I was going to do it today, but I'm stuck in my ways, and I never do. And so it's this great little moment with an older character. And then he turns it on where he knows about the boss's affair, and he uses it to get a promotion. And then he finds out Helen, the woman he likes him, and she, they basically become a couple by the end of the episode. So it's a happier episode of the Twilight Zone. And as he's going by the cart again at the end, he inadvertently hits the box. The quarter lops over, and he no longer has the power to hear everybody's thoughts. And the closing narration is, one time in a million, a coin will land on its edge, but all it takes to knock it over is a vagrant breeze, a vibration, or a slight blow. Hector B. Poole, a human coin on the edge for a brief time in the Twilight Zone. It's a really good, cute little episode. It has a darker turn towards the end with the guy possibly robbing the bank, which is super cool.
I liked it.
It's a great episode. It's a really good episode. A solid episode of the Twilight Zone. Next week, we get a very horror-themed episode, Jerry. An episode titled 22, which is, it's from a Random House anthology of famous ghost stories from 1944. So at the end, fucking Serling is like, next week's gonna be scary, kids. Make sure you wear your big boy pants next week.
Right?
Like he's warning
masks, kids.
Yeah, he's fucking warning people. Yeah, Raven's asking questions about soup. Cereal is not.
Okay, so wait, I got the answer.
Soup? No cold soup. No.
So people who consider Merriam-Webster the authority on defining things point out that cereal doesn't meet the dictionary's definition of soup. While it qualifies as a liquid food when eaten with milk, and it does contain pieces of solid food, it doesn't contain meat, fish, or vegetable stock. So according to Webster,
not a soup.
Not a soup. And the other movie I was trying to think of with Leto was actually He-Man. He's going to be Skeletor.
Oh, that's fine. Well, actually, that might not be fun. Because Frank Langella was a really good. Frank Langella was a really good Skeletor.
That movie friggin' sucked. That pissed me off and disappointed me so bad as a kid. You have no idea. Sucked,
but Langella is great now.
Wait, is that the Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah. Yeah. Had
Yeah, it's
nothing
a
to
silly
do
movie.
with my childhood toys whatsoever. That's kind of like when they made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and didn't use like the right guys.
What do
Same
I
thing.
love that part in
Are
Ghostbusters
you-
though.
are
Who are you
you
gonna
saying-
call? He-Man. Yo, He-Man.
So wait, let me get this straight. You don't like the '90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Well, first of all, I was getting a little too old at the time, but second of all, you know,
You're
you
never too
expect
old, you
I
fuck.
agree.
the
I never
cats
get
from
into Ninja
the
Turtles.
TV show. You know, everybody wanted to see Rocksteady and Bebop. Instead, they got what the hell was it? Some
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I understand what you're saying. I will
so
say
He-Man was the same thing. Who do we get? We got He-Man on freaking Earth instead of Eternia, and with
I hate
screwed
to
up
break it to you, we're about to get He-Man on Earth again. That shit's
I want
happening.
to see a
are, but
Herculoids movie.
temporarily because
Yeah, I know.
his mother is from Earth. So, from what I read, they hide
Wasn't
him
this
on
a plot
Earth
of
until he's
Guardians of the
mature
Galaxy
enough,
2?
and then
Wasn't also
he
plot
gets
of
shipped-
Jupiter Ascending?
shipped back to Eternia.
I got you. I'm playing with you, Joe.
I want a
I
Herculoids
know.
movie.
Joe, what do you got
Never-
coming up? Do you have anything coming up? Let's promo something for
Yeah,
you.
he's trying to kick my ass out. I know. I
No,
would
I'm-
too,
I'm
be
trying to end
honest
it.
with you.
I'm trying.
Joe, what do you have coming up?
Look, Joe, what do you
So
have coming up?
anyway-
Wait, Joe, what do you have coming up besides your video next week on old man yelling at the sky?
Well, no, it's more like get off my
Old
grass,
man yelling
but
at Ninja
whatever.
Turtles. That's what it is.
I would say old man yelling at the clouds. Get off my He-Man. Anyway,
So now
Um,
the AI clip will just be
what do you-
called
what do
Old
you
Man
got-
Yelling and a picture of Joe.
what do you produce? Are you producing anything this week? What do you got going on?
No, nothing this week. Just Gabe show this week and the next couple of weeks, and then you guys on Generation Movie doing what Brad Pitt movie?
What
Not
Brad
Brad
Pitt
Pitt.
movie?
Damn.
Damn it!
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Real
Yeah,
genius. We're
they
doing
all
real
look alike.
genius. We're doing real genius to
They kind
celebrate.
of do.
Wow.
I was yelling
Right.
at the lizard this week. There was a lizard. I don't know if you guys saw the video
I saw the video.
on my doorbell.
Rubbing his
thought-
genitals on your doorbell.
My doorbell was not interested, but I kept getting alerts.
That's not
It
what
was
that's
annoying.
not what I heard. I heard your doorbell's a whore.
I heard anybody
Spraying
can
that
press your
You
doorbell.
had lizard pheromones all over that
Yeah,
doorbell.
yeah, there was doorbell stuff all over it. Okay, so you don't have any like when's the next Robert?
Ding
He was
dong,
smoking that
big boy.
iguana.
We got Robert Bass coming back. We got Gabe coming back. So things are looking big and bright. We got Generation Movie next week.
And
What
so
about
what
you?
else were we going to say? We're going to say, everybody, tune in to all the shows. Make sure you like, subscribe to all our social medias. Only takes you a second. Means the world to us. Doesn't cost you a thing. And we greatly appreciate it. It helps us try to keep the lights on. So
Yes, we're doing the best we can. But Jerry, what about you? What do you got coming up? What's the next show for Slapjaw?
Well, we're playing in April out in Jersey, and we've got May 3rd at the V Spot in Scranton, and another one in July. Another V Spot show in July. I think that's it.
Cool. What about
So,
you,
Jerry,
Kyle?
where can I get the hat? Your band
I
hat.
could get you a hat.
I need a
No, but
hat.
can you
man.
buy it?
This
I
one's
could
going
send
out.
you a hat.
Can you buy
I-
them though?
Can we
Right
find
now,
them?
you can't because we only got a few made,
Gotcha.
but I can get
Got
one.
to get
We have-
some for big
We have
noggins.
some prototype hats. The AI ones are going to be out in a couple of years. We have some prototype
Wow.
hats, and then we'll. That's cool. What about you? What do you got going on?
So May 17th, we're doing Rocky at the Matamoros Flagship Theater. June 14th, we're doing Rocky at the Emmaus Theater in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, right outside of Allentown. August 16th, Fair Oaks Drive-In in Middletown, New York. And then we might be coming back to Scranton in September.
You guys are
Where,
traveling.
where will it be in Scranton?
Very classic theater that you might have shared the same name with the theater you saw Superman at, named the
Ritz.
Ritz.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Putting on
Yeah,
the
the
Ritz.
dude
But
that was
wait a second. Isn't that the theater that's having all kinds of trouble
The
with
dude
the
that was in
ownership?
Motionless in White, I think,
Oh,
runs
nice.
that. The Ritz.
Yeah.
Isn't that the theater that's having all the trouble with the ownership?
No, the manager that they had embezzled a few thousands and thousands.
He was putting
Thousands,
on the Ritz.
thousands of dollars. Joe, can we get
Yeah.
a magnet for a cast plus a signed autograph cozy from the original Brad?
Nice.
We can get you a magnet from our cast. It's cool. Okay.
Hey,
and
if
then,
anybody ever has anything to send to put in the background for any of these guys, freaking send it. You know,
Yeah,
if you
we'll
need something
put it there.
promoted,
yeah, we'll do it.
hats, t-shirts, send it to us. We'll
This, by
wear
the
them
way,
online.
Good idea.
This, by the way, in the last Epic Universe thing, this is the candy shop that my cousin works at, and it's a cool little. The name of the candy shop is Caramel. Caramel.
Thank
So-
you, Missy.
Nice.
Okay. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. I'll see everybody next week.
Before we leave, guys, again, you're doing an amazing freaking job. I appreciate everything. We all appreciate everything you guys do. I mean, all the new videos and everything coming out, and yeah, and
That-
Kyle is working on getting guests. I think JW is as well. Jerry, some musicians or something, brother.
I could do that.
Yeah, we'll take anybody. Anybody wants to come on, we'll talk
I can
and
do that.
we'll take anybody. We're good. And like I said, I thought last week with Jim was really fun.
Yeah, with the book's already going to a second print.
Nice, good for him.
That's
Awesome.
good for him. And like I said, we love being part of the forefront of a place where creatives can unite, and where the independent become dependable and dependent.
Well, even though we're the Indie Escape Network, I mean, we'll talk to anybody because everyone always started as an independent.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us. We'll see everybody. I'll see everybody next week on Generation Movie with Real Genius, and we'll see everybody next Tuesday for another Loud and Nerdy. Have a great night. Stay safe. We'll see.